Leo, welcome to your Celtic Cross reading and happy birthday. We just introduced season a few days ago and I am here for it. Every year that we enter Leo season, I'm always there for it. Trust me, we need the energy influx. I hope that you are feeling it for yourself. So, whether or not you've just had your birthday or it's upcoming, may it be beautiful, resplendent, rejoiceful, and celebrated by those who love and care about you. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish. 1, 2, 3. I do insist on doing a little something for everybody. Birthdays are special. Why not? They only happen once a year. Why not? You know? And that, by the way, is my homemade banana bread, which is not a bad thing, baby. That's what I had in my fridge for you today. Typically, I get everybody something, but I'm like, this is what we have in the fridge today. And let me tell you something. That's not bad, honey. It's not bad. I mean, I make some damn good bread, honey. I do. Let me tell you, I used to sell it. I used to sell it out of my house. People love my banana bread. I know that sounds sexual, but, or maybe it could be. Let's put it this way, people like my banana bread. Happy birthday. Celtic Cross, we love the Celtic Cross. This is old school tarot, yeah? Sometimes there's modifications, sometimes there's differences amongst readers, but the core of it remains the same. It is a very strong or full look at our energy. It can be pockets of things here and there, okay? A little bit of subject matter here, a little bit of subject matter there. Sometimes it's one large cohesive element where one thing is clearly playing into the other. Regardless, it's old school tarot. We should all do it from time to time. And it kind of just puts us in frame of mind of where we are, where we could be, that kind of thing. I always like it because it does have direct placements. That's a good thing. So let's do it. So many things are happening in your sign right now. People are, woo, woo. Leo sun as dominant, you guys are obviously going to be well equipped to handle it. People who are Leo rising, moon, Venus, ooh, oh boy, you know why, right? All the stuff that's happening in Venus, in Leo. So yeah, lots of energy flying around. People are feeling very sharp provocation of feelings. Ooh, that sense of challenge rising to the occasion. Emotions are they're just flying around. Things are hitting us hard, honey. Hard, right in the old heart chakra and in the old root chakra. Put it this way, comment as you see fit. Show me what's going on. Speaking of which, comments are back open. It has been going very well, very calm, very peaceful. Al, our new moderator, said that would probably be the case. Everybody's on best behavior for the week or two, and then, you know, the real standard starts to show itself, and he's like, that's when the real work will pick up. And I'm like, I believe you. But I don't typically get too much hassle from my Leos, though. Now, some of you, of course, some of you are like, I know. That's okay. That's okay. I expect it. So for the most part, I'm just so glad that we are back into a good place. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. See if it resonates. See if it does not. These are general readings, not one-to-one personals, yeah? They're for the collective. Very rarely do they 100% resonate. Very rarely is it 0%. Most of us are somewhere in the middle. Regardless, if it does not resonate at all, this is also normal, okay? In which case, check your other placements, or I'll catch you in the next one. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If at any time you start to feel frustrated and aggravated and you don't quite know why, but you're becoming increasingly frustrated, I want you to separate yourself from the message, put it on pause, watch it later, or skip it altogether. That's fine. If, however, you feel something vibrating with you, no matter how small, in that seed, I challenge you to stick with it. Okay, there might be something in there for you, all right? But don't ever do anything or force yourself to watch anything where you're becoming increasingly upset. All right, there we go. Let's do it. Sorry, honey, it's just that kind of day where we need the extra coffee. All right, I'm just saying. Cheers. Let's do it. First cards. Row your boat. We're getting the hell out of here. 6 of Swords. I'm done with it. I am done with it. Okay. Challenging you. 6 of Pentacles. We can work it out. We can work it out, babe. You and me. We can. Whew. Okay. That's a lot of 6 and 6. There might have been hovering around the 10 of Swords. I don't know. The opportunity to balance the situation is here, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of pain in the way. Let's keep going. Relevant past 5. I got it, honey. You was hurt. You were hurt. You were hurt. The whole situation hurt. Everything about this hurt. What's exiting? 3 of Cups. I think you're done with this. Should we even go further? Page of Wands, you're opening up. Okay, well, it regains my interest. Strengths, Chariot, move it forward, move it on. That's the name of the game, baby. Environment, Nine of Pentacles. I'm single, bitch. I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving your Leo energy today, which is funny because you haven't shown me strength or sun once, but I know you. Humor me. I know the signs fairly well, particularly the fixed signs. It's a fixed sign thing. Fixed signs know each other. It's just the way it is. I would expect Leo to know more about Scorpio than, say, you know, Sagittarius or Virgo. It's not a knock. It's just the way it is. Fixed signs recognize fixed signs energy. You know, no matter how you might feel about Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio, the fact of the matter is, when you're looking at a fixed sign, you know you are. And like, that's exactly right. Yeah, you done made up your mind. Hopes and fears, King of Pentacles, Four of Wands, outcome, relationship. Baby, I don't know what you did, but it suits you. It suits you very, very well. There was lots of pain. There was torturous nights. I know. I'm speaking in very simple terms, and I'm putting down card placements today. Essentially, it's pieces of paper on this table. Okay, no matter how fancy they are. That's essentially what it is. This is going to take time. This is going to take process. You got your ass kicked, and you got it hard. It hurts, but you made up your mind, and it's looking like... I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is what it is. This is not the super mellow Scorpio channel. This is Sassy Scorpion Tarot. The fact of the matter is, the Leo I'm looking at today is currently undergoing or is about to enter the process of separation. How long that's going to take, I do not know. I don't know. When it actually starts, I don't know. But it's clear. And it's really unmistakable. Will there be some back and forth? I don't know. I haven't completely made up my mind. The mental torture, the emotional torture, running the whole gauntlet, okay, of when you exit a relationship is here, I'm sure. But it is pretty damn concluded, okay? I'm not arguing with it at all because I can see that you have made up your mind mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So I give you no argument. And also I give you no argument because of where you're headed tells me that you were more prepared, I think, than you knew. I don't think you knew how done you were with this until it was done. It's one of those things that by the time you exit it, you go like this. You were more prepared to move on than I think you knew. Because once you do, there's no stopping you. You're loud, proud, on your own 2 feet, and you are just the sigh of... But here's the thing. Here's what's funny. You got a quick turnaround, baby. So again, I don't understand the time frame. I might see it, I might not. So it looks like a quick turnaround, but you're not single for long. Dare I be cheeky? Sorry. I know I've got to get a lot of that for what I just said, but the fact of the matter is I don't think you're single for long. I really don't. You don't humor me. You don't look single for long. So I didn't know it was going to be, it was very direct. It's your baseline's terribly, terribly direct. It's terribly, terribly blunt. And again, that's how you know a fixed sign is done. Okay. Be you fire, water, earth, air, it's done. I can see that at some point it crosses you to make it work and it's not working. Okay, no matter how many times we try to fit the pieces with this. Let's get into it. Let's get it. Let's rip this fucking band-aid off. Just please know your baseline is speaking volumes to me. I hope you see that in terms of I've made up my mind, which I respect. It doesn't look rushed at all. It looks like very drawn out pain. And that's what I'm saying. By the time that you are ready to move forward, you're very well adjusted. I think, like I said, you were more ready than you knew. All right? And that does happen. Oh, you bet your ass it does. Cheers. All right, let's get cracking. Six of Swords. Mentally resigned to moving on, specifically from this idea of making it work. That's pretty straightforward. Some of you have some, possibly, I don't know why it got my attention. Just FYI, possibly fellow fire sign. Trying to make it work, possibly, with Aries, Leo, Sag. Does not have to be. Sometimes I notice the split. More often than not, I do not. It's just there. Show me. Show me that Six of Swords. Show me that Six of Swords. Show me that Six of Swords, please. Some of you like it. Weren't that good. Okay. Show me that Six of Swords, please. Dead centers. Dead centers. Show me that Six of Swords, please, for Leo's current energy. That's what you call a turnaround, honey. Excuse me, tight. Sometimes my lisp gets in the way. I apologize. Six of Swords. Show me that Six of Swords. Show me that Six of Swords. What's going on? The Fool. The World, the Chariot, I think that you have this stop and start thing, stop, start, where you want it to open up many times, and you're like, no, pull it back. You've kind of done that, okay? And like I said, these are kind of like the normal throes of the final, I don't mean to be dramatic, but the final death throes or spasms, if you will, of leaving something and meaning it and being prepared to do it. Sometimes you have to have practice steps, okay, before you warm up to the big dance. That's all I see you doing. In, out, and this is normal. I don't want you to beat yourself up for it. This is in the interest of, I really tried to make it work multiple times with good intentions with the Chariot. And there's other times I know I needed to move myself forward, but no, I cycled back to it. Okay, so this is normal. This is normal. I'm opening up in a particular direction. I'm going to move back towards this. And it was all done from two different points of view, so I know it was legit. I really want to make this work with sincerity, but I need my own freedom. And there was times where you went back and forth because they were both correct. One of you, parts of you, with the best intentions, really wanted to make this work. And there's parts of you that really wanted to honor your own sense of it's time to move on. So it's looking like you went back and forth between those two concepts for a while. How long? I don't know, but it was enough to kind of create the rubber band effect. Okay, you pull that rubber band, snap it back so many times it starts to lose its elasticity, and what eventually happens, it's eventually going to break. Okay, so it's very elaborate. It's looking like this took a minute. And some of you are just now headed in that direction because I'm seeing a lot of 6. June. For some of you, this process may have just started. I don't know. But the 6 of Pentacles is crossing. So I know the challenge here was trying to make it work. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I give some, you give some. You and I keep snapping back on each other. I try to put good intention into this, but then I turn around and my spirit says I need to be free from this simultaneously. I got it. So it was a very elaborate warm-up dance, if you will, to the main show. And that's normal. You know, very rarely does anyone say, I'm ready to leave right now, after the investment and the da-da-da-da-da. A lot of people think they can be cold and shut things off. At the beginning stages, sure. After time has passed, not so much. That's not who human beings or what human beings are really like. More often than not, they're not like that. And like I said, based on everything I'm saying here today, you are more ready to exit than I think you understood. And it was because of this elaborate best intentions. I'm going to try to balance with it. Best intentions, I need to do what's right for me. Okay? Straddling those two concepts for a while. Okay. Let's see the 6 of Pentacles. Dare I look? All right, some of the 6 of Pentacles, please. Ace of Wands, Page of Swords, the Tower. Yeah, that was a warm-up act, all right. Yeah. That was a burgeoning knowledge, and when it hit, it hit. It's kind of like forcibly recognizing, and it took a minute to grow into this knowledge that this back and forth thing, where we can work it out. No, I can't. I really need to go my own way. Wait a minute. No, hold on, Leo. Fight the fight. We kind of realized this was going nowhere. There was going to be no brand new jump start of energy in this situation. We're losing hope for it. And Page of Swords, somebody showing me an insight to lack of insight. It was too scary to look at any other alternative. So somebody here kept the balance going, even though they didn't really want to. They're like, we can turn over, we can give that car a jump start, a boost, that ignition switch will turn over, but they didn't really mean it, or they really lacked the insight to understand it just wasn't taking. So despite best efforts on both sides, one person really failed to see that this wasn't working, but they kept trying, and the other person, which I believe is you, was like, best intentions. Sometimes my best intentions is me, and I feel better at the idea of being on my own. Wait, pull it back. Let's try to make this work again. Yeah, and it was growing knowledge, and when it hits, it hits. When that tower hits, it hits. There's no reigniting this. We're losing hope. We should stop putting energy into this, because somebody here doesn't really mean it anyway. And I probably give too much to this with too much intention. I'm not receiving the intention back to take this seriously. Do I really still have hope for this situation? So you see the process here. So when again, just to reiterate this point for where are we, the third or fourth time? when it was time to go, or when it will be time to go for somebody that hasn't happened yet because of that delay, you're more ready than you know. Okay? Hovering around you, Ten of Swords. Oh boy. Yeah. All right, show me that Ten of Swords, please. Show me that Ten of Swords. Show me that Ten of Swords. Show me that Ten of Swords. Show me that Ten of Swords, please. Yeah, it's kind of like that shit. These pieces aren't fitting. It doesn't matter what my intentions are. They're not fitting. And the other person's like, we're still trying, right? Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Swords, Four Cups. So deep understanding. This shit's not working. Deep understanding with a truth that just can't be ignored over time. Wheel of Fortune. Time has passed, and there's a hard truth in here. I'm unhappy, and I have been. Can't argue with it. It's there. We're learning this, and we're learning this shit the hard way. Okay? And it's the worst kind of knowledge that you have. It's the kind that you learn over time. So again, like I said, most human beings don't just be like, well, it's scary how quickly I can detach and ghost you. Most people aren't like that. Most people are like this. I've put a lot of myself into this. I don't want to just throw in the towel. And that's a real natural human spirit. It's not a phenomena, it's a natural human spirit. What's the real phenomena is how we as human beings won't acknowledge our true thoughts and true feelings for the sake of that. And it came clear to you, Six of Swords underline, that just saw that. And it was a painfully growing knowledge that this was headed in a direction it has been for a long time. And even knowing that intuitively, spiritually, or emotionally bummed you out even more. It felt like an inevitable thing, because it was. And there you are looking at it, also there. Okay. And it kind of keeps going under here. We tried not to see that. We tried to tell ourselves that we were happy. They tried to tell themselves that they were happy, so we held on to it. I got it. But yeah, no, we've been unhappy for a long time. Okay? Hovering, it's been with you for more than a day. A lot more than a day. Weeks, months, years. And it's a truth we can't ignore. So, I know you tried to ignore it by balancing. We did our due diligence here. I think you really meant it. I do. Every time you tried to balance, make it work, went back to the drawing board, I really think your heart was in it. I think somebody else in this equation, though, to be perfectly honest, was just trying to avoid a disaster. So, like, we can put more energy into this. We can be reignited, have hope for this, have passion for this. We can. Page of Swords, don't really mean it. That's the only really distinct impression I have of the other side of things. I really see more from you. Okay? And that's really all I need. Is I'm more interested in the imprint of your energy than the other person's. I'm not here to bash them. It's just yours is showing up more fundamentally as a comprehensive package of time, feeling, conclusion, this is what I tried, that kind of thing. So I'm seeing more points mapping from you. Okay, so I'm not really interested in them. I'm sorry that they didn't, I don't know what their motivations were or weren't, except for the thing is that they didn't want to acknowledge the ever-increasing truth of the thing. There's always that false hope. We can do better, or it's going to be better tomorrow, and it isn't. It's just someone wanting to avoid a tower but not doing a very good job of it, you know? And as I often say, between two people, in dynamics like this, somebody's got to be the conscious one, you know? Somebody somewhere has to take responsibility and see it for what it is and not for what it isn't, right? And I think that's why you are, where are we, number 5 now? More prepared than you knew. So when I'm telling you I see a fixed sign who is very prepared, it's because they've run that gauntlet. Fixed signs don't like giving up. But when it's time to throw in the towel, it's time to throw in the towel. Okay. Let's check out that 5 of Cups, please. Relevant past, relevant past, relevant past. Show me that 5 of Cups. Pain, sadness, that's been with you for a minute. Unresolved emotional issues with this person or other people. Who knows what. Show me that Five of Cups, please. Two of Wands, decisions, the Moon, the Three of Pentacles. Of why couldn't it ever work out? I never understand. Things have worked out, things have not worked out. You know, kind of secretly wondering this whole time. I feel like this was with you for a long time, honey. A long time. And that's why I would explain that sharp impression here of the hovering influence. It was something, a knowledge, a piece of knowledge, and a very sharp feeling that you could not continue to ignore. And I think you did it for a long time, like I said. So once you knew, you knew. When you were ready to accept the truth, you were ready to accept the truth. That's all you're telling me, is that ultimately you were disappointed in this, and there are many regrets in it. Very many regrets in it. Choices made, not made. Constructive efforts or non-constructive efforts. Cooperation or not cooperation. Elements of always trying to get along and cooperate, even at the most basic level, in order to justify keeping it going. I got it. Regret for having waited this long. Holding out for this concept of at least some sort of friendship with this person and just cooperate. You know. Even for the barest of courtesies about this could be a constructive effort between you and I, waiting way too long for them to show more cooperation of spirits, and all the time you spent waiting. There was waiting. A lot of waiting. Hoping more would come from this, present itself to justify the waiting, to justify the time spent in this. I got it. That's heavy regret, and you've tried not to show too much of it, but it's with you, it's part of you. I'm sorry it has to be this way, but I also feel like I've waited too long to really see this for what it is. And here's the undeniable truth, and I see the background is backing up everything that led to that disappointment of understanding the truth. Is that how long it's been with you? Always wanting more from this, emotionally wanting more from this, and just not getting it. I could have taken my exit here, here, and here, you know, but I always held out for a certain level of effort. You weren't ready. You weren't ready. Okay, I saw it right there in your opening. And when you are, you are. Three of Cups is on the exit. You being able to bring this together with this person emotionally is on the exit. Stands to reason, right? Showed me lots of regret. I didn't want it to end this way. I had hoped for so much more, so I kept trying to make the pieces fit with you. Please understand and accept this. I mean, you're in this too. You must know. You must have a similar experience. Yeah, try not to account so much for their experience. Only they can do that, okay? All you can really do is your side. You tally your side of the board, okay? Don't worry about how they're tallying things. If you two were tallying at the same pace at the same time, I sincerely doubt you would have ended up this way, okay? All right, Three of Cups, please. Show me that Three of Cups, please. Three of Cups on that exit. Show me that Three of Cups, please, on that exit. Seven of Cups, Death. Yeah, Temperance. Yeah, we can't. It's like the impossible task with this situation. Again, I don't know this person. I don't know if they're an asshole. I'm not saying that. I'm not seeing things like the devil or five. I might do, but I'm not saying the devil and the Five of Swords right now. I'm not saying this. I'm seeing something here that was emotionally would not grow further. It had nowhere else to go. You two continued to be an emotional disappointment, even though you, despite your constructive efforts and the best intentions on your part, they're showing me I just didn't want to deal with it. So I kept putting false hope into the situation that it still meant something to me. It was due to a lack of insight and lack of maturity on this person's part to appreciate the full mechanics of it. You already went through that particular bit where you're like, this it's disappointing me, but I'm not going to show it. I'm going to keep giving it my best, and you know, until you couldn't keep arguing with yourself. And I got it. It's literally this. The idea is I've given up on this emotionally. It's some parts you don't even hurt in this respect anymore. Okay, and that just whatever love you felt for it, you understand it can't be repaired. Okay. You know, it's just there. We don't have the variety of feelings for this situation the way that we used to. We're not able to identify our feelings for this situation or person the way that we used to. And frankly, our willingness to want to bring it together at the emotional level, even in the simplest of ways, that motivation is now gone. The inclination to continue to fix this, to keep it going, is exiting. Okay, it's not like a dour. This is already so far after the fact, at least on the emotional level. Now, how it looks like in the 3D, I don't know, but I'm saying what looks like essentially the disentanglement process. Okay, the emotional disentanglement has already happened, as far as I can tell. The 3D follow-up is going to be different for everybody. Okay, but it's like I'm not trying to argue with it anymore. And I'm not trying to see it for what it is or isn't anymore, right? Okay, let's, yeah, we're going to go ahead and switch. Show me this Page of Wands, please. Your immediate future, opening up. Yeah, no, it's, I will say it's very brave of you to acknowledge these things for what they are. It took you a long time to get there, but like I said, once you knew, you knew. Okay. I don't see you trying to deny or reject it or play for time anymore, which is good. Because it really just costs you more of your time, spirit, energy, and effort. Page of Wands, opening up please in the near future. Opening up please to the near future, even in the smallest of ways. Show me that Page of Wands, please. That Four of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Wands. Yeah, so there's the 3D. That's what I was wondering about, because it is so very final through my eyes. So I was like, well, the emotional disentangment's happened. The mental as well. Specifically, the mental acceptance is here, clearing up any doubts about this particular process. And now I see you're very tidy, Leo, I'll tell you that. I don't like loose ends either, so I understand. And I say this all the time, and you're giving me a really good example of this. Oh, God. I have a way of phrasing it. You always have to do what's right for you. Always. That's here. And it took you a minute to understand what was right for you. Not just for you, but for the situation that it called for. You understand. You understood that there's not much more to be had or gained from this for either one of you. It's a logical and emotional acceptance. It's very real, very valid, and like I said, very brave for you. In that respect of you're not denying it, you've done that. Kind of, well, I hope this works out. I don't have much back on this that says otherwise, but I hope that's done. Unnecessary hope, that's gone. Here's the 3D energy, the Four Cups. The sadness is still with you, and you are sad. You are regretful about the break of this. Some sort of relationship here. Could be commitment, doesn't have to be. But yeah, we're opening up towards the truth of it, and I'd just rather you know than not know. I did. You know, it's very accepting. It's very accepting of you, and you always have to be in your best advocate. You always have to do what's in your best interest. And if a situation's that unsolvable, unfixable, and or uncooperative, when you have your answer, so it's best that you have your answer, know it, and stick to that particular truth, and try to deny it and fight it, right? There you go. So there's the 3D reflecting the emotional dissonance and upset and disappointment and sadness attached to you in the situation. There it is. Yeah, I do see you breaking free from whatever this is. It took you a long time to do it, but you know, it's not about the rush, right? You weren't ready, but it's looking very, very finalized. Okay? I don't know how far into the future that is, but there you go. Okay? Okay. Your strength, the Chariot, moving it forward. Oh, goodness gracious. No, you have to know what's right for you. And it's better than something that's lingering and lingering, because you've done that. You've done the lingering thing, right? This will work. This will work. They really mean it. I really mean it. And then part of you pulls in the other direction because intuitively, mentally, you knew. You knew. In some way. And what we know and what we allow to come through are two different things, and that's where we get into trouble, right? And Chariot, please, in your strengths is moving forward, moving on, moving forward, moving on. Yes. Show me that, Chariot. Again, this will not be an overnight process. We want to clear this up. We want to finalize it. It's going to take a minute, but I see your determination to get back into a state of your own particular being with that Nine of Pentacles, and then your comfort zone, as you understand it, taking care of yourself, loving yourself. And all that Four of Wands is that the outcome, I don't know that it's re-emerging. It could be brand new. That's what I'm leaning towards. Show me that, Chariot, please. So we'll see. We shall see. Show me that, Chariot, please. People do have a way of surprising me. Proof that tarot is indeed proof of choice, not the absence of it. And then also, tarot doesn't dictate anything. You do. The Chariot, the Hermit, Four of Pentacles, the Three of Wands. You've been waiting on yourself for a long time. You've been holding back for a long time. You've been literally holding back from moving forward for a long time. Some of you might have some very strong Cancer and or Virgo placements in your chart. I don't know why that's coming across so strongly, but it is. Not that isn't absolute just because the power cards are here. It's about the energy imprint, and it's coming across very strongly to me. Huh. I don't know why. Anyway, there's that resolve, the healing ourselves from holding back, always hoping, yearning, aching, looking out on the horizon of that Three of Wands and feeling dissatisfied because we weren't moving forward the way our heart wanted us to. We're healing ourselves now, and your heart starts to feel soothed almost immediately because you're finally acting in your best interest. Okay? You have to give yourself permission. Okay? You have to give yourself permission to move forward. You have to give yourself permission to heal. That's not a guaranteed thing. Healing, guys. Healing is as much a permission thing as anything else. Just because we break from something that's no longer right from us doesn't mean we did our job, right? In healing, you have to give yourself permission to heal. To understand that holding on just meant expectations were never fulfilled. Not by you, not by the situation, not by them. It's a great strength. It's not angry. It's not malicious. It's just you better understanding where it is you came from so you can better understand where it is that you're going. And that's a beautiful strength. Okay? It's quite lovely. But yeah, no more hanging on due to false expectations or false hope, which I'm not a huge fan of. And that's why the Three of Wands makes me very nervous when I see it. It's like, well, I'm waiting or I'm dealing with. Well, you're not really waiting on or dealing with anyone. You're waiting and or dealing with yourself. And I see it in the comments all the time, and it's fine. Guys, I just wish you understood the power of your own language more. I really do. I wish you understood. I'm dealing with, I'm waiting on. No, you're not. You're waiting and dealing with you. You don't need anyone's permission to live your life. Now, if you were still in this relationship where they had a stake, you had a stake in their life and they had a stake in yours, then you talk about talks. Well, you have those conversations. But when you know it's not working and you take responsibility for it, you're no longer in a position to say I was waiting on them or I was dealing with. No, it was you. You knew. The way I'm looking at you knew, and you knew for a long time. And I insist that when you tried to balance, you did it for the right reasons with good intentions. But you also knew how this was going to play out. Okay? So I'm glad to see that you are healing some of the most constructive elements within you so that you can indeed move forward, this time without false hope. Okay, about what to expect from yourself and what you're getting or not getting, that kind of thing. So you have to learn to heal. You have to learn to move on, and you have to mean it every day. You have to learn to forgive every day. It's an everyday kind of effort. Nine of Pentacles is in your environment. You feel good, strong, capable. And you are. Yeah. Individual. I can do and act for myself. I can make things happen of my own will in accordance to that will. I have proof, right? Nine of Pentacles. I have proof of what I can do. Yes? Show me that Nine of Pentacles, please. Language is a powerful thing. And when you say I'm dealing with, you're giving somebody else power for what it is you're choosing or not choosing to do. Okay, and I see it all the time. It's not just a Leo thing, it's an everybody thing. I just wish we understood, better understood the power of their words. It says a lot about where we're coming from and what our intentions are. You know? God. all the time. I'm dealing with a Scorpio. Even though we broke up 2 years ago, you're not dealing with Scorpio. You're not dealing with Aries. You're not dealing with Gemini. You're dealing with you. It's done. It's been done. Accept it. But in one ear, out the other. If you insist on you're dealing with somebody and you're actually not anymore, what is your energy doing? And do you really want someone who hasn't seen you in years to have that much power? Energetic power? Fuck no. Well, that's me though. That's me though. That's a big. Unless you're in my life, unless I'm married to you, no, you don't have that kind of say. I'm sorry, that's me though. The devil, you're scared to manifest. Ooh. Oh, you're scared to stand in your power. You have the goods. I don't know where that fear is coming from. It's a really weird spike of fear. It's almost like you haven't been on your own in a while. Stands to reason. You haven't been your own man. You haven't been your own woman for a while. There's a spike of fear here. It's like, do I dare manifest what I want? I don't know, honey. Do you dare? That's down to you. I say a Leo hasn't been used to being a Leo for a while, or I bet you dimes to donuts, Leo is your Venus or your moon. Do I dare to manifest? Roar. Do I dare to roar? I don't know. Do you know what you want? If you can break from this, you heal along the path. You're not waiting anymore. You're not holding back from you anymore. What else is there left to do except to manifest in your best interest? That's just 3 majors over that 9 of Pentacles. It's almost like you are scared to be your own person. You haven't done it in a while. Maybe you're rusty. You can. You will. But you have to know that you can. It's like, do I dare stand in my power and manifest? What if I do it wrong? What if I fuck it up? Right? If you are someone who can live through this and try to balance with somebody through the best hearts of intentions, yes, occasionally your spirit was leaning away from this because you always knew how it was going to end, so your spirit was trying to warm up to dance somewhere else. Okay. And I see you healing in that particular direction. What you're telling me is that it's been a long time since you've had to have that kind of faith in you. Okay. So I'm not too worried about that devil. I think you're much stronger than you know or you last remembered. And being someone who's on your own and capable, can you do these things? Yes, you can. I think some of you are just sometimes generally scared to stand in your power because it's no easy thing. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, yeah? I know I'm misquoting that. That's fine. You get the idea. Because that's what I'm seeing here. I know, it's hard. It's hard, especially if it's been a minute since you've had to stand in that kind of energy. And it's not just energy, honey. Pentacles, the real deal. That means you have experience. You know how to plant your 2 feet. You know how to exist. You know how to co-create with the universe. Perhaps you just never thought of it that way. You know? Perhaps you never thought of it that way. Perhaps you fear your own independence in some way. I don't know. But you're telling me that level of power kind of scares me, Christina. To really pull in for myself what's good and right for me. I would advise you to start getting comfortable with your power because you're pulling something in anyway. Okay. I mean, if you're going to manifest, do it properly. Get rid of that fear. Get rid of it. Dare to stand in your power. Dare to be on your own, especially if it's been a long time. Dare yourself. Dare yourself to manifest at your highest potential. Because you're doing it anyway, so you might as well do it correctly, right? And that's something I know I've lived by since I was a kid. If you're going to do it correctly. That's how I was raised. It's like, if you're gonna pull something toward you, you better damn well know that you're doing it. Because you don't want something weird coming towards you. No? You want what's right for you and what you deserve. So you need to make sure you know that, because this is in your environmental position. So if you're opening up to an environment where you're on your own and you're afraid to manifest openly, fully, and take charge of it with the Emperor, it's almost like you're saying, I'm trying to be careful what I wish for. It's that careful that I know sounds like caution, but really it's just the devil. You can do this. Okay? Just know what you're wishing for. You will be fine. You allow fear to creep in, it's going to hijack your manifestation, screw it up. Don't allow that to happen. You are brave through this. Be brave for you. Okay? King of Pentacles. Let's talk about it. Be brave for you. King of Pentacles. Show me that King of Pentacles, please. Show me that King of Pentacles. Show me that King of Pentacles. Show me that King of Pentacles, please. Are you treating yourself well? Are you loving yourself? Do you know your self-worth? I'm telling you, some of you are afraid to manifest at your full potential. You're like, no, I'm not. Well, Leo, I am looking at says it's been a while since I've been on my own. And I want the best, but I may not know exactly what that is, so we pull it back, right? Be brave. Manifest for you. King of Cups, Page of Wands, Queen of Swords. You and someone else are determinedly doing something. We're opening up to somebody here. We want to. Somebody's determined to, with that kind of mentality, and it absolutely 100% involves the heart space, and it's a large one. King of Cups. King of Pentacles, in your environment, we want to know our self-worth. We want to be self-assured in our love and our effort and our energy. We want to attract the best for us. I think that's part of where the fear of the manifestation is. Am I pulling in the right thing? Because, Christina, this is my future. This is my heart we're talking about. This is my environment we're talking about. This is my sense of security and self-worth. And I see, and it's like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I see you opening up your heart space to somebody, and I don't quite know who this is, but they're a little determined. There's a little bit of an edge on it, like, okay, I'm determined to do this. I'm going to open up towards this. It's taking some nerve. It's taking some nerve for somebody to open up to somebody else. But it's done so through the heart, and that's all I care about. Okay, so even if it's taking some nerve, or we're having to reserve, or have nerves of steel, or what, I don't know who's opening up to who. But the idea is that I've made up my mind. And since, you know, the Page of Wands was on your bridge between where you've been and where you're going, okay, I'm assuming that too. So you're showing me the mentality of, I got this. I'm a little nervous, but it's okay, right? Christina said, if you're going to manifest, you have to know what you're manifesting. I know I'm going to manifest this. It's scary. It's scary to get what I want. Yes, it is, especially if you're not used to it. So if you're not used to getting what you want, it's because you haven't been manifesting properly. But when you're in it with someone else, and you're trying to make something work that you know neither one of you is, yeah, you're not going to get any sort of concepts of manifestation. Never mind such big goals. You're going to be fearful of what it is you can do. But that doesn't mean your fear is correct. That just means it's with you, and it's influencing you. And how much it influences you, hijacks your experiences, is up to you. So I'm saying you're not dealing with anybody, you're dealing with you. You're not waiting for anyone, you're waiting on you. It's not that you're afraid of this, that, and the other. There's parts of you that you're afraid of. People can be so very afraid of how powerful they are, because in truth, they really don't know how powerful they are. They've been in something that's holding them back for years. Well, I don't know if this is necessary. I'm just, because it's there. I don't know if it's necessarily been holding you back, but it hasn't met your full potential, and it hasn't met your full potential for a long time. It could be, like I said, that was a quick turnaround. I don't know how quick that is, but it's almost like I don't know why you have such a strong approach to it in that respect. It got my attention. It's like I'm afraid to get what I want. I'm afraid to, what if I get what I wish for? What if they say no? What if they say yes? Find out. I think you will. I see you talking to them. Somebody talking to somebody, and they're like, oh, I'm a little nervous. It's okay. I got this. You do got it. You do. Page of Wands. Start there. Anybody can start with a page. Anybody can start with a page. It's fine. Okay? Love's on the line. And it seems to be a big one. It surpasses 4 and 5 of Cups by miles. I'll tell you that. In heart spaces that won't come together, they won't be functional or fluid or work together or love each other, not even in the smallest of ways. There's something here about the lack of emotional expression from whomever this is. Why does it feel so... sour? I don't know. Four of Wands, please. Sour. Sour candy. Show me that Four of Wands, please. Show me that Four of Wands. And the outcome, please. One more. Stop. Okay. Show me that Four of Wands, please. Temperance, Two of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, it's kind of like, can I open myself up towards a new foundation, sense of stability? I'm not seeing it as healing with this. This, by all rights, looks like it's emotionally over, and I saw the 3D exit. It's, am I ready to enter into a very strong union? It looks like it has the potential to be. It's a little intimidating, okay? And I think it's because of how quickly... Here's what's interesting. I see you inviting it into your life. So it's under your decision. I don't know if you feel that there's a pressure of time attached to this. I don't know. Here's what's interesting. This, whatever this is that you are entering into your life, it's some sort of relationship, and it has the ability to be incredibly stable. It's kind of like, am I ready? What's weird is that this already has time attached to it. This was waiting to come in for you. It was always there for you, or it always had the potential to be there for you. For some of you, whatever this large heart space is, this King of Cups, it feels like the other person. I don't know if they're new, and I'm convinced that they're not. So I don't know who or what their background energy is to you, or their background noise is to you. But there's someone whom you know you can talk to in that way, but it's been a minute since you've talked to them. In that way, and under what capacity, I could not say. I do know that you two have a lot of common threads, and it tells me that you've known each other in some way. They look like someone who could have always been part of your pathway at some point. Very strong potential in your life. Someone who is a stable person, resourceful, part of the community, part of your community. Overlapping principles of foundation, stability, loyalty, love. Has enough time passed? Is there enough healing here to make this function? Because you do want to make it function. I think a part of it is also, has enough time passed between perhaps you exiting this and entering this? Because there's a question here surrounding, has there been enough time, and has there been enough healing? So there's a couple parts here, and I know it's muddy, and I apologize. I think the biggest chunk by far is you having exited this, and then boom, it's almost like you're afraid to pull in what you want the most, and it's something or someone here that represents a potential that was always here, or always existed in your life in some way. I don't know how familiar you are with this person. I just know when it's time, it's time. When it's ready, it's ready. And I think there's a little bit of fear here about how fast this might be happening, but you're also welcoming it simultaneously. It's like, again, I get that impression from you. It's like, I don't dare wish for this. Or be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. And so some of that might be because it's happening so fast. But I think one of the reasons why is whatever background noise or background energy you had with this person, there's a concept of time having passed, patience and or healing surrounding it. And are you ready for this? Something like that. I can't quite see it. I'm not digging into whomever this is or whichever this is. I just know that the outcome suggests stability. Yes, absolutely. Fruitfulness, resourcefulness. Yes, high functioning too. High functioning relationship that actually has potential of healing surrounding it that, as far as I can tell, is pre-existing. So that tells me you know this person in some way. Probably fairly well, I think. I don't know, but you're welcoming it into your life. And there's a little fear around it. It's almost like fear of getting what you want. I don't know how else to put it. As enough time passed between this and that, perhaps you have a fear of perhaps how you look to the community. You don't want to seem undignified or ungraceful or something like that. My thoughts on that are as such as that it's not your life. For anyone who's on the outside looking in. And I do get that. I do. I I understand that, especially if it took a long time to exit this and you had we discussed all that. And then you enter in something fairly quickly that looks solid as hell. I've got a lot of mature people here who know what they want, who know what their value is, who know what their worth is, who know what their love is. Strong wills and minds here with a very strong sense of we can build this. This is a real relationship. This one is loving, supportive, cohesive, and stable. Has enough time passed. Have I healed enough? And then, you know, I don't know if there's worry about that, about how soon it's happening. So I would just, but that's easy for me. I don't really care what other people think, because if I did, I wouldn't have this job. I wouldn't have had half the life path that I did if I overly concerned myself with what other people think. So I would say if you were moving at the speed that I think that you are, who cares? You have to do what's right for you. Because the Leo I'm looking at, you did not do what was right for you for a long time. And I understand your reasons why. It's not a fault and it's not a judgment. I get it. We discussed it. But that also means taking on the life that you want. That's also your responsibility too. And the speed is the speed. So why there's a question about time and patience and healing and has enough time passed between me and this, or how I used to know this person, I don't know. It's there, and it looks like it's easily solvable. It looks like a very solvable question. The more you involve yourself in it, the more you understand how right it is for you. Okay, that's all that matters. All right, let's get, and yeah, there we go. Let's get an oracle for you. Like I said, once you know, you know. Okay. Be proud of yourself. Last quarter moon in Taurus, be proud of yourself. You have accomplished a lot. I think some of you have a habit of not giving yourself enough credit about what it is you're able to do or capable of doing. And be proud of yourself because you have done many things, including doing everything that you could to make this work, to balance with it, to have genuine hope and intention for it, to putting real constructive effort into it. But the cards kind of shook out the way they shook out in this, and it takes two. Despite your best intentions, someone else had to meet you simultaneously with best intentions and the insight. And you do this math over and over again, and you keep seeing 2 + 2 is equaling 4. Someone's always upset, disappointed, or unhappy, and 5 of Cups, and so on and so forth. And it's like there's only so much more math I can work out on this, because it does take two. And someone's no longer in a position to keep healing their feelings and to keep healing them, to bringing this together. Accepting that this is over, that takes a lot of strength of will. And I say be proud of yourself is that you're not some newbie off the block either. I have a very strong feeling that you are someone who is mature. You know, I think you're well established. I do. I think you're someone who is very capable. I've seen that here as well. And like I said, I think it's just been a long time since you've solely manifested for yourself and saying solely, this is for me, this is what I want. And I think it's been a long time for some of you since you've manifested from that place of singular individual self-interest. And it's scary. It's scary to fly solo. It's scary to be really in tune with what it is that you want, especially if you've never had a lot of room for a long time to express it. Without someone else's permission, you're not on the same page. So therefore, neither your manifestations rule each other out in terms of best interest. So it's scary, man. It can be scary, but it can be so beautiful and so fun. And I see you kicking it off with somebody who seems to be highly compatible in there with you for the right reasons and in the zone, frankly. There's a lot of zone energy, focus, high sense of focus, strong sense of this is what we can do. We're on the same page. We have the same goals. We have the same endeavors. Let's do it. Let's sync it up. Let's sync up the calendars. So, yeah, be proud of yourself, for you have accomplished a great deal, and you will continue to do so. You will continue to do so. Always abide by you. And you have a reason to be proud. Okay. Leo, honey, I hope this helped you. Once more, happy birthday. I will see you in the Sunday Shuffles, and I will see you at your next full-length long-form content message, which will be in approximately 2 weeks. Take care. Be well.